Oh, righty. Time to get this all tested out. Once again, I tried to do it earlier in the week, but Star Citizen was being Star Citizen in its usual extreme, extraordinarily buggy self. So there wasn't a whole lot we could do with it. So this time I thought, let's go ahead and give it another bash. They like to say. Yeah, we're here floating around in a good old Carrack. Of course, one of the two main exploration ships. Very different roles for these ships, by the way. They're one of those things that people tend to overlook whenever they are going about it. And was this whole debate about, oh man, the Odyssey is just going to be the better Carrack and it's going to replace it, yada yada yada. Which was, in my opinion, rather amusing, considering how much of a different role that these two ships have to each other. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get ourselves into some bunker trouble. We can just see if things are going to be running as they should. Let's see, moderate threats, take that one first. Because then that will go ahead and track, and then the cold arm should not be tracking. There we go. Where do we need to be? LVE. Ah, that's annoying. I should have checked that. Because I think that LVE is one of those, yeah, it doesn't have a marker. So I need to fly over. I wonder how far the range is so that you can still see the ship. It's something that we'll test in a bit. For now, though, as my primary objective is to just if the stream works, I don't want to be losing all the arms and armor that I've got stored on board. Because I do plan to be living out of this ship for a bit. We'll just make our way over the old-fashioned way. I just hate how you cannot interrupt quantum when you go to planets like this. It would make it a lot nicer to deal with these lack of whoa, Shippy, you're being drunk. Okay. Rightio. Let's put us on course. Probably. Let's see how far is it. Yeah, let's not go too crazy. Just put the engines to full for a bit. And let's take a gander at what we're going to be using. So I'm running quite often this exact armor set. That is the Morozov. Main reason for it is, in my opinion, the best heavy armor in the game. And the reason we run heavy armor primarily is for the larger backpacks. The strength of the Morozov armor really comes from its temperature range. It's the only heavy armor that for the majority of the places actually is sufficient, whereas all the other ones, they do have their limitations. Weapon-wise, FS9, what 4x you prefer? Compensator or suppressor, as your preference is. Compensator can be nice, actually. It luring all the enemies towards you, but of course with the suppressor you can be very stealthy. Multi-tool with tractor beam, paramedic medical device, couple of medipens, grenades primarily for fun purposes, and I always carry a drink on me, knife in case you ever want to need one, and a refill for the paramedic in case you ever really need one. Pretty much all that you're going to be needing to clear bunkers very effectively. Now, you can also do them in light armor without any issue, because most of the time it's just about shooting first. And in case we are getting into trouble, the Carrack of course is acting as my respawn point, and we have a number of armor sets and additional weapons, plenty of ammo to go along with it, and of course the utility tools to go along with those as well. So if we do end up getting downed, we should be able to rescue ourselves in this instance. So probably we'll try, and for the next one is we're gonna maybe park a could actually try. Let's just go ahead and try. Let's go and see if we can park ourselves into a orbit above the place. And then we will, from there, we will grab the small Pisces and go down with that. So we don't have to land this lumbering beastie. Because it is a lumbering beast. No question about that, for sure. Let's see, we are 128 away. We are clearly still within the atmospheric grasp. Speaking of, I may also have to check actually. Right. I wonder what the distance is for the gravity pull, so to speak. Not sure that's actually anywhere noted, but it's a good question, because at what point can you leave yourself in relatively safe orbit over a planet? So the atmosphere goes up to 100 kilometers, and QT altitude is just under 11 kilometers. But doesn't put anything on the gravity. That's fine. We will just try and park ourselves probably here around 40-ish kilometers is just fine. I think if we leave the engines on, let's force the ship into submission that it goes the right way. Yeah, you can see that we're also running already at really high speed, which is generally an indication that we are at a high enough altitude. We're getting close, so we're probably going to cut the engines here. Or not the engines, but at least the thrust. And that probably should put us relatively nicely straight above the place. And I will just find out if we can still see our ship. I'm not getting out of my seat yet because we are undergoing the deceleration. I don't want to topple over. I think, yeah, we're pulling 1.3 Gs, so that's quite a bit of deceleration there. So we are 35. So technically we are actually dropping a bit. Let's keep an eye on the altitude once we have come to a full stop. Because I think it is we are just on the edge of... yeah, there we go. You can see the deceleration put us at a slight decline. Oh. Keep the nose pointed up a little bit. Yeah, we're fairly close above it. And we seem to be hovering just peachy. Take a quick look outside, but we see we are burning quite a bit. So I think what I'll do is just go ahead and put us a little bit higher. See that will get us just outside of that. Let's put a little bit of front into it as well. Shouldn't be too hard for the ship to keep itself into orbited here. Let's see. Yeah, it just keeps on burning quite heavily. But we're gonna leave it here. We're 40 kilometers above the surface. We'll make a quick pit stop in the med bay. Top of our... I mean, we can do it in a Pisces actually. We don't have to worry about it. And go to technical deck. Open hangar doors. Open this door. Close that door. Close that door. Lay down on this one, because it's faster than the bed on the carrack. And it will refill our liquids. There we go. It's not as nice as the cruise, but it will do the trick for now. And my character has a lot of problems with drinking, so it's just not working. So I need to put it on the floor and all of that stuff. There we go. Now, question is, do I still have a... So we are currently 50 degrees up. We'll have to see if we can keep an eye on our ship or not. Because that's the main thing. Like, if we can actually leave it into orbit, that would be great. Because that allows us to, you know, really play around with a mothership and stuff. So I still have the blue arrow, so that is pointing to the carrack right now. So I'm trying to see if once that arrow vanishes, if we still have anything at all. Because if we don't, then we just need to return to the carrack. There's no choice about it, because I don't want to lose all the stuff inside of it. Because I cannot find it anymore. So the question is this just going to be sensor range, or will it actually say like, hey, there's your ship, you can go over there? That is going to be the big question, so to speak. So we're approaching the 30-kilometer mark. That's the reason why we call the ferry going slowly. It's going to be easier to find it back again. Okay, let's go ahead and stop for a bit. I just want to see... So 14.2 it says. We still have it in range. Let's actually just keep it target locked. Speed up a little bit. And we know if we go back up the 50-ish degree angle, we should find it again. So we are at 320 going down. Yeah, there we go. We lost the carrack. And we also completely lose the marker for it. Now I'm going to see what happens if I step out the seat. No marker either. So that's a big issue that I still need to fix then. So to go up, we need to be at about 140 at 35 degrees. Let's just go ahead and try and see what happens if we can find it again. So 140 at about between, say, 35 and 50 degrees. So 140, I'm going to write it down literally. 35, 50, up. And that's the direction. Because technically speaking, even if we don't have the marker, the ship should remain in its own place. So we should be able to refine it once it is out there. For the moment, let's just go ahead and go down to this bunker. Yeah, I've got bunker reputation now for level 4, closing in on level 5 here in Microtech, and level 3 over at Crusader. Main reason I went to Crusader because you could see the armor in the car briefly. The guards there have really cool armor. And the guards here on Microtech just have, white armor. It's not bad, but Crusader armor has pretty much saying it says Crusader security on it, which is just really cool. So that's the main reason. Okay, let's put ourselves down on the ground. It's a nice thing about the Pisces. It has that great combination of being extraordinarily tiny, but still have a lot of interior cargo volume for armors and stuff. Even here with the capacity infinite because it's loading. Yeah, not gonna wait for that to load, but it has plenty. Not that we're going to need it really here because I'm not planning to take armors from here. And the main reason for that is I've got plenty of these white armor sets here from Microtech, so absolutely no point about it. Usual 8 guards. The only thing that we will look for, of course, is red boxes. I may just grab the tools and stuff as well, just might not collect them. We've started on the top floor, which is nice. I always recommend clearing the bunkers then top to bottom, because that's just a safer way to do it. It's much easier to stay out of potential line of fires when you go down, because you can just stick to the wall and they can't shoot up. But if you're downstairs, as you can see here when you look downstairs yourself, yeah, it is wide open and you can be shot from so many angles. Now the guards are moving. We are running at a fairly reasonable server frame actually, between 5 and 9-ish, so the NPCs may very well have some activity to them. This is my go-to spot to start with pretty much. This doorway makes it fairly easy. I move over there and we move through the entire bunker. There we go, one down, and we stay over here. So we're gonna keep our back to the wall. It's always the safest thing to do. And there we go. And they gave us the marker for the last guy. So we have a spawner in here. There's also a friendly guard there, and he just took care of the enemy. That's great for us. We'll do a quick look downstairs for the red box locations. Main reason is that, hey, we got a minute to kill, so you may as well take a look, grab what we can. And then we can always... there's like a lot more good stuff. It's good to just make a mental note of which ones you need to check again. Or you can be like me and have my usual luck of almost no crates at all. We only had this one medical crate we ran past. I might as well grab it. Yoink. Especially early on, if you're starting out, do grab all of that stuff. The medical tools especially, they sell for like 690 credits each. So a fair bit amount of money to be made on them. Go back in our little corner here. pretty much hold out for a bit. I think one may have still standing. And our reload is being buggy again. That's one dealt with. Keep our backs to the wall. Check here, it's empty. Can take a look if we can see anything from here. Nothing. NPC guards are going crazy again because that's what they do. Yeah, we just take the long way around all the way to the exit. That way we never have any angles from where we can be surprised. And that's just always a good thing to keep in mind whenever you're playing games like this. Angles are everything. So you just want to make sure that nobody can shoot you in the back from an angle where you don't expect it. We don't have the view. Now, of course, I'm playing here on an ultra-wide monitor, which helps even more with that. So it gives us an even, especially like for the broader sense of view, especially in these indoor locations, it's really helpful. But overall, like, just make sure you never can get shot from an angle you don't expect it from. That's just the main rule. Pretty much in combat whenever you can, of course. But especially in these bunkers, it makes it fairly easy because there's only really one path down. There's only one set of stairs here. If there were two sets of stairs, it would already have been more difficult. Yeah, that's also the reason why I'm starting in this corner. Around here, I can just clear this one out, move there, move all the way around the back, move down, again, go clear out those doors, that door, wherever the server room is, of course, that depends on which bunker it is. Clear out that and you move on. Sometimes the server room is over there on the top floor, and then it's also fine because there's nothing that they can nothing that can surprise you from because you're making these moves very smartly. If the NPCs are really active and fast, they may come up here, but that's why once we clear out this and this, we turn our attention around into that area. So if they come and run up or out of the server room, we should be able to detect them. There we go. We've been lucky so far that top closet has been a big spawner. It just really helps, especially if they're active. But right now they're not really. To the left. And we have markets for them. So we can just make more speed. Go down again. Take care of him. And we can move down. Maybe even go here. Now they're still in the closet. Let me just say hello. Here to talk about your car's extended warranty. Now we're just gonna empty that magazine. So we can have a fresh one for the next bunker. And sometimes it gives you that one round magazine we can then drop off. And that's one bunker cleared. Good chunk of change as always, because what is it nowadays? With these is 12, 20 enemies, 500 credits for each for those. So that's 10k, so that's 85k for these tier 4 bunkers. They make for really good money. Like the bunkers initially are really disappointing money-wise. But the moment you hit the 3rd level in your reputation, so you can check that here on your Delphi. So the moment you hit level 3 security contractor, you get access to 60k bunkers. They spawn a total of 18 enemies, and that's when you can start making the money with it. And they are exceedingly profitable. No idea why it says my survival is 1.9, so that's pretty much the max that you have. yeah, this suit handles the temperatures. Most heavy armor does like slightly less than this one. That's why I prefer the Morozov. Okay. We said we had to go 140. So that's here. And we will go by, let's call it 50. Let's see if we can find our Carrack again. It's been quite a risky endeavor, of course, leaving it behind. But we'll have to see. About 40 kilometers up. Should have a sensor output of about 15 kilometers, so technically speaking, it shouldn't be too hard, but you never know. And it's one of those things I do wish that it would just, you know, keep markers for your ships. So that you can just find them again easily. Even at longer distances, because, well, the whole idea is that we can use these ships as like a home base for our smaller ships. I think I'll limit our speed to around this 500 mark. Never too much in a rush. It's just no fun. Like, you can always be like, hurry, but then if you just grind yourself to dust doing that, and in games like this, you just need to sometimes take your time, look around, and then just enjoy the experience. Like, games are so much more than just a singular experience. Oh, there we go. We found a Carrack. Well, that's nice. It's not entirely at the angle that we expected it. Well, that's quite good. Slow it down. Take manual speed control. And the good news is it did not drop down. So it has been able to keep itself into orbit. That will make it quite a bit more interesting to be playing around, I think, with these bunkers. We don't have to take a lumbering beast down, so to speak. Gear down. And now we all go into person. Oh wow. Oh, pretty darn on the dot already. And welcome on board again. Keep the power on while we take the engines off. We have arrived. And that's just the cool thing I think about this game. Well, we left from a space station, like you didn't see that because it was before the stream. Got on board this ship, put another ship on board the ship. We took a mission, used our FTL drive to get over there. Got into our snub ship, our shuttle, flew it down to the planet, into a bunker, cleared out the bunker, got back in our shuttle, flew back up to our ship, landed back in our ship. Name me a single game that can do that for you. There's none. Bar Star Citizen. As much as I can get seriously pissed off at this game at times, these kind of things just, remind me as to why I like this project so much and why I hope it does succeed at some point. Now we're not going to be doing the narcotics, contraband, drug missions. They are like the pay seems like it's really good, but they take forever to spawn in, and the turrets are hostile, so we need to clear those, and that's not an option for our current loadout. Like if we want to do those kind of missions at all, or against remove the illegal occupants, you pretty much need something that can deal with the turrets. So they're going to be a ship with size 5 weapons, so you can outrange them. Or it is going to be something like a Redeemer that has the shield power to just tank the turrets, and then you can just take them out with the pilot weapons. Now, of course, the Carrack has the same level of shields as Redeemer, which, yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous because it's so much larger of a ship, but that's the case. But it doesn't have pilot-controlled weapon systems, so we would struggle to get in there and then also take down, because we would need to crawl into a turret, and that's just not... We don't have that much shields to tank that level of firepower, so to say. Like, the only ship that can tank that level of firepower for a very long period of time is the 890, which you can literally hover above, climb down, go all the way down to the hangar, climb into your bottom turret, and then deal with the turrets from that. Because that thing has just so much HP. But on the other downside to it, it is also really, really large, so very hard to park. Like, there are literally like some of these bunkers here that have locations where it would be it's nearly impossible to land an 890. Simply because the darn thing is just so freakishly large. Now, considering we do have a jump to this one, we're just going to land a Carrack here. It's not really a reason not to. And I guess for the other one, next time what we can do is land at another location nearby, perhaps. Because that way we know where our ship is and we can fly a longer distance away from it. Because I don't think I would feel safe like flying like 200 kilometers away from this ship right now, because we don't have the marker, and then it would be really easy to just lose it. Because you keep in mind, like, the further away you go, the more precise you have to be to know exactly at what headings you need to go, at what angle of approach you need to be, because otherwise you will just miss it. And that chance just increases over distance. So yeah, we definitely don't want to be taking those kind of chances when we have stuff on board. Play around the offered limitations, as they say. Anyhow, as far as the stream is going, we are not dropping any frames. CPU load is only at 12%. It's about 9,500 kilobits a second. So I do think what I will try to do, if I remember myself, is to try and increase the quality even more. I will try and rewatch this one later, of course, see if it's actually needed. But at least it is working. Let's go down and slow ourselves down. No need to rush the approach. The looks of it, we probably want to land it here at the back, but maybe we can land it in front there as well. Oh my gosh, look at this planet right now, by the way. Just look at that. How pretty. And we have a nice, large, flat landing area for us to use here. Going to third person. Like, third person just makes the landings a lot easier. And I'm more than comfortable in landing in first person in like hangars and places like that. But when it comes to stuff like this, where there's like, you know, things sticking up out of the ground. I prefer to go into third person. Engines off as always. No, we still have plenty of water and food, but we're just gonna go out and do our duty. Call our little tiny elevator. And we go to the subdeck. You see the guards spawning in. They have looks of it spawned into 2 different closets. Which is good, like even if they are not going to do anything. If they would be stuck, it means there are more closets open for the other NPCs to spawn. Which reduces the chance that they bug out. Now we're going to wait for the ramp to be fully lowered and see if the ship is going to do any strange jumpy jumpies. It's not. A little bit. Close the ramp. Don't want anybody taking our ship now, do we? According to this, we have well over an hour survivability estimate. And I think that's more based upon our, or actually that is based upon our current food and drink level. Not the temperature, because -9, -10 is, that's even within the range of just a undersuit to keep you safe. So, and down we go. LNG at the ready. Calls from Bering, favorite small arms manufacturer in the game. They of course also make ship weapons, but as far as it goes to the FPS weapons, I do like their stuff the most. It's primarily because I do like just classic weapon design. There's just a lot of the stuff that just doesn't really gel with me, so to speak. All of the guards are apparently downstairs, so I hope they have an enjoyable time down there. And we are just going to see if there's any nice goodies in here. That's disappointing. I mean, I always take an extra scope. Collect scopes a little bit for no reason, but... Okay, no other crates in here, so... And we had the other spawn closet over on this side. And the server room, I think, is going to be downstairs. Yeah. Oh, we know our bunker layout. Or at least the important bits. And we're just going to be repeating our exercise. And hopefully walk away with anywhere between 75 and 85k. Good night to you, sir. I do wish that you could put these things into semi-automatic mode, but... Oh, look, one of the guards decided to go look upstairs. And our friendly Ninetales are active, which is nice. We have another red crate here, so that's something to keep in mind. We have a med crate here. And there's another red crate there. There's no spawn closet there, so we can just go and circle around. Most of the guards are looking that way, but I see an open thing here as well. So we'll take care of that. And there's a small crate here. We'll grab that one quickly. They tend to load in very fast, so I feel safe grabbing that. Guards are all pointing that way. I expect, however, that our friends are going to be in here. Nothing there in the back, so... Ooh! Hello. He shot back. How rude. Luckily, they're not freaking John Wick anymore, as they put it. So they don't instantly kill us. Let's grab this red crate, see what's inside. And that's all rubbish. We'll leave that. Like, I'm pretty much only interested in S71s, sniper rifles, railguns, missile launchers, grenade launchers. And I'll grab the occasional scope. Take that one. Spawn closets are not immediately activating. We could just see if we can throw a grenade in there. Or not. Here, hold on to that for me. Okay. The guy just survived a grenade blast next to his face. Oh well. I still got a light machine gun. Let's make our way downstairs again. I'm not expecting much to come out of this, but hey. That one is closed. So then they're either going to be over there or they're going to be all in the server room again. Up to 4 guys can spawn per closet max, so always something to keep in mind. Definitely have something in there. That looks like 2 of them. Let's see if we can try another grenade. That went more as it should. Grenades can be fun. And let's try another one. Even snooze. Oh, one of them survived in here. Not any longer. 11 rounds. Yeah, let's go for a fresh magazine instead. Got 8 enemies to kill in the next round, so better have extra ammo available. Especially considering the ammo reloading, so the reload can be very buggy. So it will just reload you an empty magazine. And that can be fatal if the NPCs are actually doing stuff. So better to be safe. Ammo is cheap as hell anyway. And especially when it comes to these LMGs, the magazine prices are a little bit insanely cheap. Considering how much ammo is inside of there. But probably one of those things that will get rebalanced at some point. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it is rather irrelevant. 8 out of 8. Think that we are done out of luck without spawning in here. Yeah, we're already hearing gunfire downstairs. At least we know that there's some in there. there. Like, all of you Muppets are absolutely useless. The only good thing that the gods do is then they get shot and then you can take their armor. Or as you can see right now, there's no comma ray up. And without a comma ray up, of course, we could just shoot the guards, but it would still fail as the mission. But after we completed the mission, yes, we could shoot the guards. Not saying I have. The only time I've shot the guards is when they shot me first. And yes, that for some reason has happened with me. Don't know why, but the Markotech ones are a little bit more trigger happy apparently. I haven't had that issue with the Crusader. And I've had it with Markotech quite frequently that the turrets are hostile. And also the guards are hostile. I've never had that with the Crusader bunker so far, so. There we go. Mission accomplished. Hey. So I put it on there. Goodbye, everybody here. Have a grand old time. Hope you can go home. Give the loved one a kiss. You know, all of the usual stuff. As for me, I'm just going back up to my ship. Just the way we like it. You can see we have the Pisces is showing up, but the Carrack is not. I'll just take a quick nap in the medical bed to refill, I think. This skin does look amazing. This was the 2950 Best in Show skin. One of the few skins in the game that actually looks good. Let's get on the ramp swiftly, just in case the ship wants to do strange things. Would not be the first time I have to rescue my Carrack from being flipped upside down. Habitation deck, please. Like, this elevator would literally pass 0 safety standards nowadays, but hey. Real cool. Yes, I am not injured, I know. I'm just using this to magically refill my hunger and thirst meters. I wish it would work like this in real life. Make it much easier to lose weight if you never feel hungry, because you just lay down in bed and suddenly, poop, it's all resolved. Wouldn't that be nice? Right. Back in our seat. Engine power back on. It's time for us to lift up. Gear off, feet all off, cruise on. get ourselves up into space again. There we go, that should do the trick. Yeah, let's talk about the Carrack. Of course, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, is the two of the main exploration ships in the game. And by main exploration ships, I mean they're actually like capable of relatively long-range independent operation. Now the Carrack has less range than the Myst Odyssey, simply because it doesn't have the ability to refuel its quantum tanks, where of course the Odyssey can mine Contanium to top itself up again. And I think that's the main difference here. It also shows in the origin, of course. Like the Carrack by origin is a military vessel. And its main job is when all the spiky things come out, its job really is to get very good clean maps of these large jump points. And that's something that the Navy would be extraordinarily interested in. Like that's their main priority, would be just like, okay, if there are jump points, we need to have them mapped really, really well. And that's where the Carrack would be very useful as an asset for the UAE Navy, because it allows them to get all of the data in, know it's done well, know it's all proper, and it still has the ability to go out there to that system on the other side, take a good look around, you know, use the snub, drive around for a bit, get some data wherever it's needed, and then go back home. So that's the Carrack sort of exploration. You go in, do your job, come back home. If you compare that to the Myst Odyssey, the Myst Odyssey is more like and by towards it is that civilian style of exploration ship. It is all about, okay, we're going out there to see what we can find, and we're just going to keep on going, keep on going. We are self-sufficient, we're self-sustaining. As long as our components don't wear out, we're good. We're just traveling space. We'll just see wherever we're going to end up is where we're going to end up. And that's the main difference between those kind of ships. Like the Odyssey is really all about that journey. And the Carrack is far more about that destination, that mission. Get in, get out. Versus the Odyssey of go out. Second star to the right. Straight on till morning. One of my favorite quotes from Star Trek. That idea of exploration, I think, is really strong with the Odyssey. Now, of course, how we're going to see that within Star Citizen is anybody's guess. I think it's one of the major challenges that they are still trying to figure out over time. Is how do you make exploration interesting? Because keep in mind, a lot of people are going to be doing it. And exploration stops being interesting at the core the moment everything is found. So how do you make sure that that doesn't happen very quickly? That's something that they will have to resolve for sure. And this, like, the reputation goes so slow at these higher tiers. It still doesn't really matter too much. At the moment you hit tier 3, which you can do relatively quickly, you're pretty much golden. Everything above that is just bonus. Let's see, is there anything other we can do? Racing, yeah. Maybe once I'm getting used to the flight sticks. Don't have them plugged in right now. I'm getting it more and more set up with them, but we're not entirely there yet. Wait, any Ghost Hollow? No, we're not going to go to Ghost Hollow. That's a really bad idea. Priority, that's jump turn. Yeah, no. Good luck with that, have fun. I am not into jump down stuff. So these, by the way, can be really useful. Quite often you can get mercenary missions in general tab for the rec sites to clear the bunch of hostiles from there. And then if you look into your personal tab, you can quite often also get 1 or even 2 bounties at a rec site. Most of the time 1, not even sure 2, but 1 is always very frequently the case. So if you combine those two, it's good for reputation and it's a really good payday. Because you will be killing like 30 plus people on the ground. So hey, that's 15k just from the cold arms bonuses. Then you get like another 20k for the mission. Then there's going to be 1 guy here with a bounty, which is going to be another 15k. So that's easy a 50k payday. So very good way of making some money. Now that's LVE again. We're not going to be going there back, because then we need to leave the carrick again. Don't want to be doing it for the moment. What I think I will do is just end it here. It's been almost an hour. That's good enough for a little test. And of course we will be trying to get like do a lot more stuff. So we may occasionally also just park the carrick at Port Tressler. Try and do some bounty stuff, get used to the flight sticks. I do have a lovely Gladius set up all the way for the bounties, so that should be the ship we're going to be using. I do think that can be quite interesting as well. Yeah, for now, I think we're gonna call it quits, as I said. And yeah, the reason you do the bunkers, this is why. We're making some really nice money from them. 2.5 mil. Goal currently is to get like 4 or 5 mil, because I do want to get a Retaliator in game. And the reason I want to get a Retaliator in game is that once we get, of course, higher in our bounty reputation, at some point we can get to unlock the ultra high risk group bounties. You can do those with the Retaliator like freaking ninja. Just drop in, drop the torps, get out. You can make some money really, really quickly with them. And that's of course one of those things. That's you can buy all of the ships in the game. You can play around with that. Like you don't need a lot. Like for these bunkers, all you need for the bunkers to start out with is an undersuit, helmet, a pistol, and you start a ship. All 4 of those things, you should have the moment you log into Stealth Citizen. Pretty much really all that you're going to need. You just kill 1 person, or you just let the guards kill a couple of the people, grab one of the SMGs, one of the P4s, or one of the FS9s from the ground, deal with the rest, loot the armor, start stockpiling, and off you go, and you will end up with more armors, weapons, and things that you know what to do with very, very quickly, and it makes you some really nice credits. Like the beginning missions, as I said, they're not great. You're looking at 15k here for 10 enemies, so that's another 5k, 20k a mission. It's not amazing, let's be honest. And the same like pretty much for these remove illegal occupants. They're all kind of the same. But once you start getting these, the defend location against minor threats, that's when the money starts rolling in. 6k, plus of course the other potential 500 for each of the people that you kill. They're gonna be 18 people total. Well, bam, another chance for another 19k on top of that. Then you can see how quickly then the money will start rolling in. So if you want to get into doing like bounties and other stuff, you don't have good ships for that. You can say people can do the delivery missions. The delivery missions nowadays are tricky as hell because of all of the stuff that you need to drop from derelict outposts, which are of course patrolled by cutlasses at times, lots of enemies on the ground. Versus just doing the bunkers, go in there, shoot some people in the bunker. Even if they're active, they're not very hard. Just take it easy, do what I say, like keep your back to the wall, top down to below. If you start below and there are already hostiles in there, okay, yeah, just have to do it. But again, try to do the same thing. Keep that wall to your back, circle around it, and you just make tons and tons of money without much issue at all. If you are around area 18 and here in Microtech, you can of course do the boarding action. So that's the 890 mission as it is known. Fairly decent payday. I think there's 20 enemies on there, so that's another 10k there, so 55k. There's a bonus if you find the terminal on time. You know, look for it, but don't feel bad about not getting it, because most of the time you will not get that terminal, because it just spawns somewhere way out of whack and you just never get there in time. But it's a good way to get yourself some credits. The downside is that it's only reputation with Nordhawk. That's not a really valuable reputation for you, because the main money you're going to be finding really is in here, you know, in your local services. So empty protection, Crusader, Blackjack, or Arcorp and Hurston of something, probably around Hurston. They give you the bunker mission, they give you the good stuff, and of course the Bounty Hunters Guild for your bounty contract availability. So that's also a very good one to make money with when it comes to combat operations. Yeah. Plenty of stuff to be made, plenty of things to be done. We will be doing things for that on stream. I think for now we're just gonna put the ship on cruise as it is nicely going. Let's see, how far away are we from the planet? Not very far. I think what we're gonna do, gun the entrance to max. Let it get up there. It will make its distance, and we're going to find our captain's quarters. And we shall be logging out from there. And enjoy the time of the evening, or well, by now, for me, early morning. The ship will know its way, and she will fly straight. And we know our way as well, the most important place. Our little home, away from home. Those of you that joined me, thank you so much, and till next time, I've been Kale. Goodbye.